Hello everybody, we are dressing Alice and today we're going to sew our Alice Pinafore pattern. Okay, so you're going to print your pattern on A4 or standard letter paper. You're going to cut around the black border and tape together according to your print layout. And then you're going to cut the fabric using your pattern pieces. You want to place your two bodice pieces together, right side together. You're going to pin along the top and then sew this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Turn your bodice pieces right side out and then press flat with an iron. Top stitch this side that we've just sewn. You want to make a small notch cut at the bottom of the bodice. You do this by folding your bodice pieces in half and making a little snip. Place your bodice on top of the long sides of the straps. Your straps will be making a V shape at the top. Place your other straps mate on top. You want to pin them together. Make sure that the bodice piece is all the way to the edge of your strap. Sew your straps and your bodice together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Turn your straps right side out and then iron them flat. You'll want to top stitch along the edge that you've just sewn, not your raw edge. Take one of your ruffle pieces and sew a line a 1/4 inch from the edge. You're not sewing anything together in this step, it's just to stop the curve stretching as we hem it in the next step. Iron a fold at your sew line towards the back of your ruffle. And then iron your fold over another 1/4 inch and pin down. Take this over to your machine now and you're going to sew it down along the fold's edge. It's okay if it is a little bit wonky at the back as long as it's not showing at the front. In the next step, when we gather, it will hide a lot of the overlapping that does tend to happen. So take it really slow on this step. We're going to gather your ruffle now. So set your machine to its longest stitch setting, and then you're going to sew a line 3/8 of an inch away from the unfinished raw edge. Make sure that you leave long tails of thread so that we can pull it in the next step. You're going to find the center of your ruffle and put a pin in it. The easiest way to do this is just by simply folding it in half and placing your pin. Now you're going to find the middle of your strap and cut a small notch on the raw edge. You do this again by folding it in half. You want to unfold one of your straps now and you're going to match up the pin on your ruffle to the notch on your strap. Make sure that your ruffle and your strap are facing right side up. You're going to pull the tails of thread that you left to gather the ruffle until it fits the length of your strap. Now be gentle when you pull these so you don't accidentally break your thread. You're going to pin it down along the edge to secure your ruffle. Head over to your machine and you're going to sew this ruffle down with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Remember, you're only sewing your ruffle piece to one side of the strap, not both. Once you've finished sewing that, you're going to repeat the steps for the other side. You're going to flip the raw edge over and press flat with an iron. This makes it easier to sew in the next step. Draw a 1/2 inch line from the edge of your remaining strap. Do this on the wrong side of the fabric so it doesn't show. Iron a fold towards the wrong side of the strap at this line. Repeat the same steps for your other strap. Pin down the fold so it just covers your previous sew line. Head over to your machine and now you want to sew down along the edge of your fold. Repeat these steps for your other strap. You want to take out your front and back waistbands. You're going to pin the sides right side together. You're going to sew the sides of your waistbands with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You're going to repeat so that you have 2 sets of waistbands. Take one of your waistbands, you're going to turn it right side out and then cross the straps at the back of your waistband and pin. Now the inner edges of the straps will match with the waistband notches. Make sure that you're only pinning to one layer of the waistband. You'll want to lift and place the bodice on the outside of the waistband and you're going to pin the front notch to the waistband. You're going to turn your remaining waistband wrong side out and place outside of the bodice pieces. Make sure that your waist seams are aligned. Head over to your machine now and you're going to sew the waistbands together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Turn your waistbands right side out and top stitch along the top edge. Get your front and back skirt pieces. You're going to lay them right side together and pin the side seams. Head over to your machine and you're going to sew the side seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. If you're finishing your seams, now's a good time to head over to your overlocker or do a zigzag stitch along the side seams. We're getting ready to gather the skirt now. You want to set your machine to its longest stitch setting. Sew a line 3/8 of an inch from the top edge of your front skirt and repeat for the back skirt. Make sure that you leave long tails of thread. You want to find the middle of your skirt, front and back. If you forgot to cut a notch in the beginning, you'll just need to fold it in half to find that easily. You want to turn your skirt right side out and your bodice and strap pieces wrong side out. Make sure your straps are facing down. You're going to insert the bodice inside the skirt. You're going to pin the center notches together. In this step, you're only pinning to one layer of the waistband. Now you want to pin your side seams together. Pull one tail of thread to gather each section of the skirt to fit the waistband. Make sure you're doing this gently so you don't accidentally break your thread. Once you've finished gathering, pin it down so it stays in place. Double check you've only pinned to one layer of your waistband, and then you can head over to your sewing machine. You want to sew the waistband down with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Tuck your bodice inside the skirt so that you have a flat surface to measure. Draw a line 1/2 inch from the raw edge of the remaining waistband layer. Then you're going to iron a fold towards the wrong side at this draw line, and you're going to pin it down. Now you're going to sew down the back waistband only. Cut your 1/2 inch elastic according to the chart. You're going to attach safety pins to each side of your elastic, and then pin one to your skirt and thread it through your back waistband. This stops it being threaded the whole way through and having to redo it. Once your elastic's through the back waistband, you want to stretch the elastic approximately 1/4 inch beyond each side seam and pin down. Then you're going to sew down the elastic at your side seams. You'll want to pin your front waistband so it just covers your sew line of your skirt. Sew your front waistband down. It is easier to do it from the top as if you were doing a top stitch to the waistband. Now we're going to hem your skirt. You're going to use a ruler and a fabric pen and draw 2 lines. They'll be 1/4 inch and 1 1/4 inch from the raw edge. Grab your iron, and then you're going to iron at the 1/4 inch line towards the back, and then iron the 1 1/4 inch line and pin that one down. Sew along the edge of the fold to finish hemming your skirt. Thanks for sewing along with us. We hope you like your Alice Pinafore pattern. If you have any questions or need some help, please don't hesitate to contact us on Etsy. We'd love to talk you through it.